Hey, D.
What's up?
You know what I'm excited about?
Me?
Always. You know what else I'm excited about?
What are you excited about?
I am excited about one of our free resources that we've got for the people, our Goal Crushers Guide.
Oh, you should be, because I'm excited about it as well.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's a 7-page guide.
Wow. How many pages?
7!
Wow.
It was designed specifically by us. We didn't outsource this, so you know you're going to get excellence.
Absolutely. You get me and her in this Goal Crusher Guide.
That's right. It's going to help you create and achieve your goals.
We're all about achieving the goals.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to just set them and not achieve them.
That's right. Did I mention it's free?
Free.
Where can they find this free Goal Crushers Guide, babe?
successinblackandwhite.com/resources.
Yes, just put in your email and we are going to email it to you literally right away.
That's right. And when you get it, make sure you check all of your folders so that it isn't going to spam
That's
or
right.
hidden anywhere from you.
That's right. So go get yours now.
Go get it now.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Is that how it goes?
That is not how we're successful.
I thought that was very successful.
No.
Oh.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? We back in the house one more again, coming to you live.
From the house. I like my version better. You ready to do this?
Yes. Are you ready to do this?
I am fully aware and capable of doing this.
All right.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Success in Black and White.
The podcast. We are back in the house one more again. We are back one more again.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Coming to you live.
From the house.
You're so silly. What are we talking about tonight?
We're talking.
Oh wait, it's not even night.
No, I don't know why you said tonight. We're literally looking out of the window. It is full daylight
I have
out
a cup
there.
of coffee in my hand.
That's coffee. I got water because it's too early for, well, it's not really too early for wine, but we got stuff to do. And like, look outside. Y'all
It's
can't see right
daylight.
now, but look outside. Like, it's day.
There's sunshine.
We have inspiration. Like,
It's
we have
bright.
birds and squirrels and
I
all types of
know.
inspiration. You gonna talk about something
That big
tonight.
old squirrel be walking around.
You gonna talk about something tonight.
Yeah, old habits die hard.
I guess so. But you know what? Here's one thing, and it's also related to what we're talking about. The consistencies that we have, our habits and our rituals, which has helped us be successful. It's
Yes.
kind of how and why you made that comment.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, I
yeah.
mean, I guess we can talk, like, tonight. Oh, my goodness.
She did it again.
Oh, my goodness. Coffee. Today.
Just say we are. Just
We
leave all-
are.
We are.
No time frame.
No, yeah. No today, no tonight. Just say we are.
In this episode,
Yes.
we are talking about how we are successful as a couple.
Yes, and how we found success in all of the things that we do in our relationship, in our family, with the kids, in our business, as professionals. So I think that we're going to share some tips about how we've been successful and how these tips have worked for us and showed up in our lives. And hopefully you can take some of them and apply them to your life if you're not already. And if you are, it's just a good reminder and something for you to go back and review and see if you're being as efficient as you could be.
Yeah. And we talk about, I mean, you guys hear it in the intro, we have a 24/7 relationship.
Yeah.
And that's pretty true. I mean, same organization that we work for, we own a business together, we parent together, we're obviously like take care of our own relationship too, and that just makes for 24/7.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. And I want to...
That was my part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying my part. You brought up the intro and I said my part. All day, every day.
That is your part of the intro.
I know it is.
So I was not trying to stop you from being great.
I was just wanting to say my part.
Be
That's
great,
all.
baby.
I was
Be
trying,
great.
but you chopped me
know.
off at the knees.
I know. I did that. I'm sorry.
right.
I got really excited about my next thought though,
Okay, go for it.
which is not even in one of our tips, but kind of like you said earlier, one of the ways that we are successful our rituals and habits that we have.
Yes.
And on the flip side of that, the fact that we are recording during the day because we knew we could have a day off, we knew that we could get stuff done when we needed to, we're adaptable and flexible.
Yes.
And we have to be.
I'm more adaptable than flexible.
That's I don't know what that means.
It felt right saying it. I'm more adaptable than flexible. I'm not that flexible,
Yeah,
but
true.
I am adaptable.
Yes, you are. That's true. So we want to jump into these tips and talk to everybody out there about how we are successful as a couple, because it's something that we get asked a lot. Like, the big question is, how do you guys do all of the things and don't hate each other?
Yeah.
And so we translated that into, this is how we're successful in doing all the things and not hating each other. The first one is, we believe in us.
Yes.
We do.
We do.
Yes.
That's funny that you started it off with the question that we get asked all the time. I get tired of that question. Do you get tired of that question sometimes?
Sometimes, but I get it.
I do too.
I get it.
I'm like, it's doable. You can do it, or you can do whatever you want to. You know, you just have to make the adjustments. You have to be willing to do it. And then our number one tip, you have to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we believe in us because we're the ones that's doing what we're doing. We believe in us. We believe in our relationship. We believe in what we're trying to accomplish. And we believe in our action plans to get us there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the very first and foremost important thing. Because if you don't believe in your relationship, you don't believe in what you're doing, you don't believe in how you're doing it, you don't have that purpose, you don't have that drive for doing it, and it's already dead before it even starts.
Yes.
So I think that is very important. Now, how we got to the point to where we believe in us, I think you're going to talk about that a little bit. But I think it's very important to know that. And if it's just you and there is no us, believe in you. I think that's very important. You know, since we're talking about it from a broad perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely, to be a successful individual, all of these tips that we're going to talk about also translate to you personally. Whether you're in a relationship or not, I think you can use them to help you get that level of success that you're looking for.
Yeah. So, yes, we believe in us.
We do believe in us. And I want to backtrack a little bit and just say, the reason that it doesn't bother me that we get this question a lot.
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
Is because I feel like, I mean, there have been a lot of times in our lives as individuals and even in different relationships and even in the beginning of our relationship where we were like, how are other people so successful as a couple, as a unit, as one unit?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard because you're bringing two different personalities. You're bringing two different backgrounds. You're bringing two different cultures. And it doesn't matter. I'm not just talking about black and white. I'm talking about wherever you come from, whoever you are. You could, marry the person down the street from you, and you're still going to be bringing two separate backgrounds, personalities, tendencies, habits to this one location and trying to cohabitate together.
Yeah, I agree. And let me also, I'm not going to backtrack off what I say because I do get tired of people asking us that sometimes. But I'm going to tell you why. I think there are two types of people that ask us the question. Mm-hmm. I think I appreciate the people that are really interested and want to know because they are trying to improve and they're trying to get better. And then there are the people who are just trolling and are just like, oh my gosh, y'all are just doing too much. How are y'all doing all this stuff anyways? Or they act like we shouldn't be doing it or we can't do it.
Right.
Or
shouldn't you be busy taking care of your kids and like doing your full-time job?
I had to put a
yes,
I had to make sure I clarified that.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah, so
that gets very, very old very quickly.
Definitely. So we get asked that a lot
we do.
by two different types of people.
Yes.
There's one side of people who are actually trying to pursue something or they are in the midst of pursuing something and they're just like, oh my gosh, like y'all are so inspirational. Y'all motivate me. How do you do it? Tell me. And then there are other people who are like, oh my gosh, how do y'all do all of this stuff? Like, why are y'all, what is, the
Yeah, the nasty.
The,
we do get a lot of that.
Yeah. So, and the preface On the side that's the if you can't see my facial expression, that side, that's the part that aggravates me.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That does get very
Yeah.
old. But for the people who are very genuine
Yeah.
and wanting to understand better how we do this thing,
Ask us every single time if you want
ask
to.
us.
If you're
And
trying
you
to
know
get
what
better.
is even better? We offer couples coaching.
Yes.
And it's specifically premised around goal setting as a couple,
Yeah.
as a family unit.
Yep.
And we help you guys do this because we've learned so much in our time together, and by being very intentional about these tips that we're going to talk about. Well, the first one we already did, but the rest of them too, that's how we've created our success.
Yep.
And so we do offer that. You can jump on our website and go check it out.
Yeah.
But
I think by
anyways.
doing that and having that also helped us to grow to where we believe in us.
yeah.
Because when we didn't have before, when we were just kind of, and to be honest, we're not going to sit here and act like we just came out of the gates with all of this.
No.
I mean, we struggled and we didn't really sit down and kind of go through the goals and what the final objectives were that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of like doing it and just started out. And it was hard to believe in us because we kept falling on our face. And when you keep falling on your face, it feels hard to believe in something.
Yeah.
Until we took a step back and was like, okay, let's come up with a game plan. Let's build this foundation. Let's
Yeah.
make sure that it's, it's smooth and it's what we want. And then it made it easier. It was like, all right, cool. Like, we got this.
Yeah.
We got this.
And you know what? I think that's a great analogy for the entirety of when we've been together from our personal relationship. We, in the beginning, came out the gate, fell flat on our face
Multiple times.
multiple times, like to the point of, do we even still want to be together?
Yep.
When we started having kids, I mean, it's not like, oh, well, do we want kids or not? You can't say that. But it's like we fell on our face because we had never been parents before.
Yep.
And so you pick yourself back up and we've learned and we've communicated. And then the same thing with like starting our business.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great analogy. So I love the first tip, we believe in us. And I think to get there, I think that it's super important for you to understand your personal values,
Right.
your personal value system, understand your partner's separate personal value systems, and then come together and understand your value system as a couple, how you're going to be leading a family unit, whether it's just the two of you in your family unit, whether you have kids in your family unit or whoever else, however you're going to be leading your family unit as a couple, those values determine how you're going to do that.
Yes.
And so that's one of the first things, it's not one of the first things we did. We made a lot of mistakes.
No.
But once but when you know better, you do better.
Yep.
And so once we kind of figured out, like, we need to figure out who we are at our core, and then come together and figure out what's going to work using the values and the personality I have and the values and the personality and the habits that you have. How do we bring those two together?
Yeah.
And so that was incredibly, incredibly important. And this is another thing that we actually help couples do is it's a hard conversation to have on your own.
It is.
It took us, we knew we needed to have the conversation, and it took us months and
long
months to
time.
even begin to have the conversation because you don't want to upset your significant other.
Yep.
You don't want them to think like, oh, I don't think we should be together. In reality, you're trying to build the relationship and make it the best it can be, but it can be a difficult conversation
Yeah.
to start having just like off the cuff.
Yeah, and you got to have those real, true, deep conversations. After you kind of get through the introductory, I'll call it that, the introductory stuff, the cute stuff. You got to start to have those deep conversations earlier so that you can know what those values are that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Because if you have values that I don't believe in or don't agree with, there's nothing that I can do to change
Yeah.
that for you. So either I'm going to have to accept it, which is going to be a challenge, an uphill challenge, or either I know from the beginning, like, our values don't align. I can't believe in that. I can't believe in us. This might not be the best thing for us.
Right.
And that's a conversation you got to have.
You have to.
If you don't have it and you just try to, walk through it blindly, and then all of a sudden it comes to the forefront and you're like, wow, you really believe that? Or that's actually one of your values? I didn't know that. you're not going to go anywhere from that.
Yeah. And there are negotiations that have to happen. You're not going to get the perfect person ever. But there's compromise and there's negotiations. And then, like you were saying, there are non-negotiables. So there might be non-negotiables that you find out. Now, hopefully it's not after you've been together for 10 years.
Right.
But if you've been together for 10 years, then you probably understand how to communicate and compromise through some of those things anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the next tip is, and we've kind of already been talking about this, but
Yeah.
we're successful because we put work into us.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
We definitely put work into us. Very important to do, very hard to do, because work is work. It takes effort, it takes energy, and it takes a mental capacity to do it. And it also takes understanding. And when you're talking about a relationship and you're talking about a couple and how we had to put work into us, at the beginning it was tough, because I know for me, and I'll speak on my side of it, is I was like, I want her to know all of this about me so that she can be the best that she can for me, as opposed to I want her to know this about me so that we can be the best us together that we can be. So I was putting in the work, but it was selfishly. So when you're putting in the work, you have to put it in together. That's why we added the us on the back end of it. But you definitely have to do it. You definitely have to make sure you commit to it, because it's definitely needed. And in the relationship or in anything that you do, you want to continue to grow. And if you don't work towards it, you're not going to grow. You don't want to be stagnant in a relationship because it's going to die. You want to keep putting in the work so that it continues to grow and it continues to develop.
But I want to speak to that a little bit, because I think that really often and a lot of times we see couples who they have a mediocre relationship because it's hard to put in the work. It's hard to do the things. Like, you have to have hard conversations.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're just fine if we just sit around and, drink beer and watch baseball all the time.
I call that the fake work. They put in the fake work.
Right.
They're like, oh, well, we took a vacation together. I'm like, that's fake work.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we like to watch sports, like you said, and drink beer. That's fake work.
Like, great.
We did this together. Like, okay, that's fake work. Like,
But
what are you talking
doing
about?
to
What are you doing?
Put yourselves as a couple at the next level.
That's
to
right.
continuously be growing. And these were really hard conversations that we had to start out having about our own personal growth and development, and then how we do that together.
Yep.
And that we continue to have all of the time.
Yep.
All of the time. So you have to put in the work by having hard conversations with each other.
And this tip right here, like, we're not putting this tip out there like we made it up. I know that I've talked to some people that I value their relationship, meaning that it's something that I've seen that has developed and grown over time. And like, I'm like, that's what I strive to be. Like, I want these 35 years. Like, I want to do this. And I asked them questions. And, this is one of the things that, we've been told, I've been told time and time again. You got to be willing to put work into your relationship. You have to be willing to do it together.
Right.
So we're not just making this up. We've actually talked to people, and we have, I guess, is there such thing as like a mentor couple or something like that?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, if so, we have those, I guess, if that's a thing. And we asked, we're like, oh my gosh, 35 years, how in the world did y'all do it?
Right.
And this is definitely one of the tips that they said. You have to put work into your relationship. So that's one of the things that we've taken on and that we've applied early in our relationship, as opposed to waiting till we get to a point to where, we're not as strong as we could be. And then we're like, oh my gosh, we need to work on this.
Right.
Nah, screw that. Like, let's start
Then it's
working
too late.
right now.
Right.
And keep building and making it stronger, and building and making it stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I'm trying to remember what episode. It's one of our earlier episodes. I talk about the fact that I was married before and divorced before I met Daryl. And I think there's always issues. There's issues in every relationship, but there's always issues when you go through something like that. But I think the number one biggest thing was that relationship, neither one of us put in any work into the relationship. We didn't know that we should have. We didn't know to do any better. And by the time we got to a point where it was too late to put in the work, it was too late to save the relationship. And that was the mindset that I think I came into this relationship is like, we are here, we're going to make it, you're my partner, like this is going to make it. And I knew I had to go in and put the work in.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we do that all the time. Like there's not a time where we have hard conversations all the time is basically, and they're not, we don't, I mean, every once in a while they turn into fights or hurt feelings, but for the most part, we just try to be open and it's true. I've gotten better. And so have you. But we do. We have hard conversations often because we have to.
Yeah, they're very important. And that's a part of the work. You know what I mean? If we don't talk about what we want to work on and what we want to improve, it won't happen. So
right.
I'm definitely glad that as we continue to grow, we're continuing to figure that out and we're continuing to elevate our relationship.
Agree.
All right.
Other ways that we put work in is just determining our goals together as a couple and then just working to achieve them. And this actually leads into our last tip. So I want to switch our tips around.
Oh.
But adaptable.
I'm adaptable.
You're adaptable.
Did you see my face though?
Yeah.
I gave you the non-flexible face.
I'm non-flexible, but I'm adaptable.
Yeah, I can't. Ugh. But I'm adaptable, so I'm like.
Well, let's move around because to me, setting the goals and working to achieve them takes work. Okay, we dedicate the time necessary when we set out to set our couple's goals. We want to have an extraordinary relationship, so it takes the time to do that, right?
Right.
When we travel, a lot of times, some of that work, we're on vacation, but some of that work comes back to we're working on us as a couple.
Yes.
And we know that we set the time aside and we dedicate part of our vacation to doing that.
Yeah.
And we hold each other accountable.
She holds me accountable when we're on vacation and we set that time aside.
That's true, because he does not want to work.
And even though I know it's on our schedule and I could see it there and I know it's there, I'm like, come on, let's go do something else.
Yeah.
And she'd be like...
And I get it. But
we created the schedule for a reason. And that's that accountability piece. She was like, I put it on here so that you could see it, so that you wouldn't say, let's go do something else. And I still say, let's go do something else. Yeah. And she'd be like, so what, we just giving up on our schedule now? And I'm like, that ain't what I'm saying. Just this one time. And she was like, and then it's going to be the next time and the next time. I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm accountable. Okay, let's go.
And it's the premise of, I mean, we do the same things with our business.
Yep.
And especially with the business we're running, we're always on. We're constantly working. Like we were just on our anniversary vacation, and we had to film while we were there.
Yep.
Like work never stops, and so we hold each other accountable for that.
Yep.
The same thing we talked about a couple episodes ago, we created the calendar so that we could have another visual to help hold both of us accountable. And so I think that's one of the most important things because it's easy. It would be so easy for me this is the easy part. If Daryl, who it's his job to do the dishes, like gets stuck in like maybe editing the website or something one night and he doesn't do the dishes, it'd be so easy for me to be like, let me just do the dishes for him, right? But then if I do that and I don't hold him accountable for it, that's an easy way out because it creates the system of, well, I'll just continue to do this. And then I start building resentment. Yeah.
So I feel like that was a horrible example to use.
Oh, okay.
Let's tell them
why.
Let's tell them what really happens.
Oh, no.
No, since you're going to bring that example up, I'm like, don't throw me out there like that.
Oh.
So.
Well, straighten me out.
Yeah, so since we've been adaptable and stuff, that was a poor example. So let me tell you how this really works.
Okay.
And then we'll get back on topic. I'm not going to talk about this for too long. So I'll be sitting here, right? And I'll be doing work. And the dishes still be up there.
Yes.
And she comes to me and say, hey, baby, you going to do the dishes? And then I'm like, yeah, I got it. Right? So she let it go. I'm going to get to him when I get to him. Just let me get to him when I get to him. Babe, you want me to just do them? No, I'm gonna do the dishes because the dishes is my job. And if I say I'm gonna do them, let me do them when I do them. Let me finish what I'm doing. So that's how it really works.
That's true.
She talking about some, well, I could easily go. She really do be thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
And she really do ask.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, trust me to do the dishes.
It's hard.
Because I said, I'm going to do the dishes. I
hard.
appreciate your accountability. I think that's her point. If I ask him enough, maybe he going to do them when I want him to do them instead of when he want to do them.
That is my point. I know, it's true.
I'm like, if you want to go to bed, go to bed. I'm going to get the dishes before I go to bed.
That's
Let me
true.
finish doing
And you
what I'm
always
doing.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be like we used to be. If we had a task to do growing up and it wasn't done, I remember I got a whooping up out of my sleep because I didn't do something that I was supposed to be doing. So just word to you,
I'm not going to come with you.
I'm still traumatized by that.
Oh.
So if I say I'm gonna do the dishes before I go to bed, I automatically go back to that moment and I'm like, I ain't finna get a whooping. Not tonight.
Not tonight.
I'm gonna do them dishes. Then again, never mind. I was about to go somewhere else. I was about to say, if you want to come spank me out of my sleep.
Oh, you're crazy.
If I don't do the dishes, never mind. Go ahead. Come on. What's
so
next?
crazy.
But I just want to put that out there. I just talked through it to myself, to the people. Because I don't do it on her time, she's trying to hold me accountability to doing it on her time.
That's true.
So my word to you in front of the people, baby, let me do the dishes when I get to the dishes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that was probably a poor example because I think there are many things though that we do need to hold each
Yeah.
other accountable for.
Yeah.
And that's part of being great, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is easy. I've seen couples in relationships who just make it easy by, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything to rock the boat. We were like that for a while.
Yeah.
And then we
that
realized,
ended.
yeah, we couldn't be. If we wanted to be great, which we do want to be great, we want to have a great, exceptional relationship. We want to always be reaching for the next level in our relationship.
Yeah.
We have to hold each other accountable.
Yeah. Definitely. Gotta do it. Mm-hmm. We just rocked the boat right before this episode. I threw another idea at her.
Yeah.
We're still gonna talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, we just rocked the boat a little bit before this, and we're okay with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you get to a place to where you feel okay doing that. And if you are to a place that you feel okay doing that, that you continue to do that, and you find ways to just continue to grow in that.
Yeah, agree. Yes. So the next one, our last tip.
Really, our third tip.
Or really our third tip,
Go ahead.
but clearly we switched around. Thank you for being adaptable.
Oh, no problem.
We are each other's champions.
As I take a swig of water, she paused and looked at me like I was supposed to talk. Let me look at my notes. I guess I need to pay attention to these things.
You really should.
Nah, but seriously, no, I'm back. He gone, he back. We are each other's champions.
You're so crazy.
That's one thing that I believe in, and that I know April needs, and I don't think she minds me saying this. She needs that, like, encouragement, those words of affirmation, me supporting her, uplifting her, cheering her on out loud. And that's what works for her. And I think in like some previous episodes, I ain't gonna try to name them so that you won't have to go back and list them. Just go listen to them all.
Yeah.
She talks about like one of the things that matter to her, she needs to hear, she needs to feel. So I make sure I do that. But also for me, sometimes I need it as well. And she does reciprocate that. And I think it's very important in any relationship that you do that. Like, you got to champion for each other. You got to push each other along, pull each other up, and support each other. I feel like when you're talking about being successful and how we're successful, that kind of like gives you a little inspiration to do something bigger, to do something better, to do the next thing.
Right.
So I think it's important to do that, and I think we do that very well.
Well, I like that you said that, because as we continue to build upon the success we found in our relationship and the success we found with our business and just with everything else we're doing, we do want more. And we want more and we want more. And I think that's good. I think that's the premise of successful people.
Yeah.
Is that they always are striving for more.
Yeah.
And so you'll find, like, once you get into these grooves, that you're going to continue to want more and to do more and to be more as a couple, no matter what your goals are, what you're doing. But I do think being each other's champions is important for us. And The best way I could think about how to describe it is we kind of approach everything as it's an us against the world mentality. And that's not in like a
Like that negative
it's
way
not
where
a
you're
negative,
isolating yourself.
Right. It's not that, but the fact is, as success comes to us, it is a little bit isolating. And it's a little bit lonely.
I was about to say it how you want to say it.
Yeah, it's a little isolating. It's a little lonely. You lose friends
you
because
lose people.
They don't understand.
Definitely. But you also gain all of these fake people too.
You gain fake people. And you gain real people.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got a lot of real people out there that support us and that are champions for us that we appreciate
through this process and through building a business.
Really appreciate.
Oh my goodness, we love you guys because we have some major supporters out there. But we've lost people that we
love.
We love, and it's been hard. And so we realized that we had to, as success comes to us, and as we continue to strive and to do more. That we have to take the approach of is us against the world. And again, not in a negative way, but kind of in if we were the last two people standing, we're the last two people that we want to be with.
Yep.
And so we're going to champion each other. And that's it. Like if I were to hear something negative about Daryl, I would, depending on the context of the situation, either come home and tell him.
She'd probably be like, did you really do this?
Yeah.
That'll probably be the first question. Did you say that?
or B, I would stand up for him in front of the people who were saying that, depending on how the, whole situation worked. But that's the thing is you've got to have each other's backs.
Yeah.
And so I don't get this whole thing of like, I see it a lot in different groups that I'm in on Facebook and social media of like, people bashing their significant others or like, why don't they do this and why don't they do that, or why do I feel like, this, or how could they do this? I don't know. I see it a lot, and I think that's detrimental.
Yeah.
I think it's detrimental to your relationship.
Definitely. And I think our approach, like we challenge each other, and we do it a lot. And sometimes we do it in front of you all, which is, for us, it's okay because we definitely talk about it. Like you said, this entire episode, we don't mind talking about it to each other.
Right.
But when you do that and you don't have the follow-up conversations, or you don't share the back end or the results out, then I think there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel. If you don't feel like that's a problem, then like more power to you. You probably watch The Housewives or whatever. So now here's one of those things what I said, what should be like, I know D, he probably did say that. Hey, you offended somebody, D, like say it differently.
It's okay. I watch The Housewives when I can watch TV.
My point
Which is
exactly. So no, but one of the things, like she said, we challenge each other, and I agree with that, but we also support each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we champion for each other. And like, why would I want somebody else to champion for her before me?
Right.
Like, that's how I feel.
Right.
I'm like, this is my partner right here. This is my ace. Why would I want somebody else to champion for her before I do it? So I want to make sure that I'm leading the way in what it should look like for anybody else that wants to champion for her.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. And I take that personal. And I feel like that's my responsibility.
I also think that championing.
It's all right.
Championing for each other looks like sometimes you're doing work behind the scenes. I love this saying because A, it's Steve Harvey and I love him, but B, I think it can go either way. But he says
it depends on which Steve Harvey.
Oh, I didn't know there were more than one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
Which Steve Harvey are you talking about?
The one that everybody knows. I thought there was only one Steve Harvey.
There is, but there are different versions of Steve Harvey.
Oh, okay.
Some of them I can get on board with. Some of them I'm like, Steve, you tripping.
So Steve said this on his show.
Nah, I like Steve. In case his word gets back to him. Nah, I do. I do like Steve. Most of the time.
So Steve said this on his show.
Let me see what Steve said.
He said, there can be successful men without women behind them. So basically without a partner behind them. But there cannot be great men without a woman behind them. And to me, that translates into, when you're looking at it from a partnership standpoint, I could be successful on my own, but I can't be great on my own without you behind me supporting me. You could be successful on your own, but you're not going to be great without me standing behind you, supporting you, without having that support system. And I think about that in terms of, there are times where my championing you means that I'm doing some work behind the scenes. Like, I'm working to help you be great in something that we're doing together, in an endeavor that you're doing. Like, it's not just gonna be all about me, or when is my time, or when is my turn.
Yeah.
I have to help build you up and make you great. And you do the exact same thing for me.
Yeah.
And so there are times where maybe it's my time, I need to be in the spotlight, and you are doing work behind the scenes to build me up. And I think that's important. It doesn't have to be in a business situation. It can be in your parenting roles. Mm-hmm. It can be in family roles, if you have to advocate for each other in different family situations. Just making sure that you are building each other up behind the scenes. You're doing that work.
Yeah, I think that we've been talking about this one for a very long time because it's so important. And when you're talking about champion for your partner or for anybody, I think it's important because most of the time you forget to do it, which is why we're really elaborating on it, is because most of the time you forget to do it because you think they already know, or you think they should know.
Right.
And just like April said, she champions for me as a parent, and that's the example that I'm going to take right now. Like, sometimes I feel like she should know or think that I should be doing what I'm doing. And sometimes she champions for me and I'm like, dang, like, all right, well, I am doing it. I think that she should know that I should be doing this. But I also recognize that she's acknowledging what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very important because a lot of times you can easily get caught up into, well, they should be doing this anyways. And they should know that I know, or they should know mm-hmm. that I care about them doing this, or they should know that I support or champion them for doing this. So I don't have to tell them that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes you lose the concept of what we're talking about when we're talking about champion. And I think sometimes it's important to do. That's why we're really elaborating on this, because sometimes it get washed out because of perception, because of false understanding. And I feel like you definitely have to do it. You have to make it known. You have to make it known in a big way. Mm-hmm. And that's by, when you're championing for them, let them know that you're doing that for them. And also setting the tone for anybody else that may be able to see in, or that may be able to want to champion for them, or so that other people can see and acknowledge it. Because I know for me that, that works. Mm-hmm. That makes me feel good. When she be like, hey, D did this with the kids today. And most people are like, well, he's supposed to do it because he they daddy. I'm like, go sit down somewhere. She my baby champion for me and let me know that she appreciate me and she pulling for me. Let her be great. Let me be great.
That's right.
But yeah, we get that sometimes. Like, he's supposed to do that. He that daddy. What do you mean?
There's a lot of layers to that too that I don't want to get into in this episode because they have more to do with race.
Oh yeah, we talking about the champion part of it, though. The champion part of it. Yeah. So shake your pom pom on them haters for me.
Absolutely. And I thought of one more that I know we're like running out of time and we're up on our. But I just thought of one more thing.
Come on. I'm being adaptable.
Good. Okay. I thought of one more thing, and that is we also don't hold scorecards with each other.
Oh, nah.
And I think that could be, I think it's easy to do, and I know it's easy for other couples to do because we've seen that and heard that. But when you start holding scorecards, you start a long line of defensiveness and resentment.
I'll be losing.
But everybody loses when you hold scorecards about who does things, who doesn't do things. You got to talk and communicate through those things. Like, just because you went out one night with the fellas.
Yeah.
Oh, well, or if I go out one night, or if you did something wrong, or if I did something wrong, like, you got to wipe the past clean because otherwise you're not going to move forward in the future.
Listen, don't hold them for yourself because everybody else going to hold them for you.
Yep.
Because when I go on a cruise, her friends light me up. I'm like...
That's true. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, this is good. This is for him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go on a cruise with the fellas and her friends like me.
That's true.
When like, you gonna take your cruise?
How can you let him go on a cruise?
But here's the thing, though. I don't mind if she... I don't mind if she do that. She can go out with her girlfriends here. They go out to the little happy hours.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I got up on that rabbit trail.
it's all good.
But those were our tips. And that's just tips for you, but it really is how we are successful. Like, those are the overarching themes. And when we started talking about couples success coaching and helping couples goal set and understand their value systems, it was really based off of a lot of the hard work that we have done with each other.
Yeah.
And so I hope that you guys go check that service out.
Yeah.
Because
be serious
we're really
about
proud
it,
of
though.
it. And
You got to be serious about it because we're going to hold you accountable.
We will. And it's a very exciting service. Go check it out, successinblackandwhite.com under the coaching tab. And for today,
that's it. We are out.
that's it. We're out.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.